Yeah, I got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, just us three here today.
Yeah, Chris gone. Okay,
Chris, he's somewhere in the Caribbean. Yeah, he does comedy on boats.
Yeah.
For slave wages. I told that nigga to get a better job. You couldn't pay me the amount of money. All them shows he doing on that boat. And then he stick him in his little room like it's a damn concentration camp.
It's
a boat.
Yeah,
The rooms are small.
You know,
Chris,
porthole.
man, you can do way better than that, man. Hey, so what we got today?
I found a Dr. Umar
Dr.
clip.
Umar.
That
I'm like a big fan of him.
I know you're a big fan. That's why I found it. Okay.
Huge fan. That's sarcasm, everybody.
So he's talking about the Sheuder.
Oh, okay.
So
let's see what he got to say.
yeah, here you go.
The Sheuder Sanders scandal, as I'm going to call it. Not a scandal on his part, but a scandal on the racist NFL part. To me, is a reminder to every black man in America. No matter how rich, no matter how wealthy, no matter how famous, you are still a ninja in this society. And you better never forget that. First of all, Sheuder Sanders was my favorite college football player for the past couple of years. He's probably going to be my second favorite football player behind Jalen Hurts. I even heard that the Eagles were interested in him. But I believe, allegedly, that the NFL owners got together. And I do believe, unlike my good brother Stephen A. Smith, that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe, allegedly, was
everything's
also
allegedly
involved on this scandal to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son Sheuder on draft day. I believe that all 32 NFL team owners and their executives and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, I believe they all came together in a KK Ku Klux Klan type of clandestine meeting, and they decided, allegedly, I believe, that they were going to embarrass, humiliate, and sabotage both Deion Sanders and his son, Sheuder Sanders, on draft day. Everybody who is anybody are in the world of sports.
Yeah,
whether you are amateur, novice, professional, expert, everyone had Sheuder Sanders being picked in the top 10. Nobody had him sliding out of the top 25. Nobody, anywhere, anyhow, had Sheuder Sanders out of the top 25.
This is all
Most
hearsay.
had him in the 10. Some people like myself had him in the top 3. Some had him as number 1.
No. You don't go from number 1 to the 5th round. That's impossible.
You don't. Yeah.
And let's take, for example, this didn't happen to Michael Jordan. This didn't happen to LeBron James. Didn't happen to any other black athlete that's popular and that was very successful. The only person this happened to is Sheuder Sanders. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of him and his daddy. Yeah, want to be. They don't like their personality. They don't want to approach it like.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm like you.
Yeah,
It's hard. You got to process all of what he said, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, he started off really hot with racism. And if there was racism in the league, the first person picked was black. The second person picked was black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How's it racism?
That null and voids your argument right there.
Yeah,
you know?
majority of the players are black. The two quarterbacks was in this past Super Bowl are black.
Right.
Yeah, he's pretty much calling all these other black athletes Uncle Toms. That you kissed up. That you a bootlicker.
Yeah,
That's why they treated you good.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. But I'll say this again. It's like you're interviewing for all 32 teams.
Right.
And you turned all of them off.
Right.
And a lot of these owners are white billionaires. They're picking that quarterback is the face of their organization. You come into the playoff draft wearing that ridiculous gold chain,
Right.
not interviewing with anybody. You just come off ghetto.
Yeah.
But they don't want you to be the face of that franchise.
You know what else I heard? This is just hearsay too, but he was intentionally taking interviews and just bombing them on purpose because he didn't want to play for that team.
Yeah.
That's poor leadership.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, as a quarterback, you are the leader of the team, the franchise. You're the face of the franchise. You're a poor leader. It's all about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
They didn't want the drama that comes with that family.
Most importantly, that's probably that might be number one.
Because your daddy, they know your daddy gonna be involved with every step of everything and involving himself in everything. And some teams don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Now they said his jersey is the top selling jersey in the NFL right now.
They get a cut of that?
yeah, they get a cut of their jersey. I mean, I don't know how much.
He could have been the richest rookie without that. If he would have did.
Peter just went in and was professional and polished.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That like how you do one thing is how you gonna do everything. So for me, it's like if I know I don't want to be here at this team, or you know, even if there's jobs that we've had in the past, you ain't want to go to that job.
Right.
But there's a level of professionalism that you have to have when you enter the building or whatever. So.
Yeah.
With the NFL, just go through the process. You didn't hear anything about Cam that week. You know, you didn't hear anything about Travis. None of the other players like have not doing interviews, not taking it seriously. He was the only one really that you heard about that was walking around like, I don't have to do none of this.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm Deion's boy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hall of Famer Deion's boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I've had job interviews, not with the NFL, but I was like, I'm not going.
I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had job interviews. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to go. That ain't gonna pay nothing,
Right.
Yeah, but this comes with the territory. This is the draft. You can't
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go
yeah.
put an application for a team. This is the process. This is how it
Let
works.
me
so
finish my story.
I'm just
I've
saying.
had job interviews I did not want to go to. I was hoping these other people's gonna
We'll call you.
right? But I went to them because they're the only ones to call me back. And when I got there, they blew my socks off.
Yeah.
And I got the job, and I said, man, I wasn't going to show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This dude went in front of multi-billion-dollar teams, franchises, and had this arrogance about him that turned off the whole league.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm not taking, man, because I'm not taking a chance on that guy.
Yeah.
I pick him up in the 5th round because I have nothing to lose.
Your quarterbacks, those are easier to miss on.
Yes.
Like when you pick a receiver in the first round, the top 5, he's. You could pick a quarterback number 1, he could be like horrible.
Completely
I've seen
terrible.
it plenty of times. But when you pick other positions, it's easier to pick a number 1 pick and don't miss. A quarterback, it doesn't, like college football translate to the NFL, but
A lot of the receivers, running backs do.
yeah, it translates better. But quarterback,
Yeah, you don't know you don't know what you're gonna get.
you don't really know until you put him around the best of the best.
Exactly.
In college, you're not around the best of the best. And he had one of the best receivers. Where did his receiver go?
He went to Jaguars.
Number 2, right?
Yeah.
Number two pick.
Yeah. Because you can have a mediocre quarterback and your receiver can pick you up a couple.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
man. They call them
Exactly.
quarterback-friendly receivers.
Well, the big thing this year in the draft that I saw was edge rushers. They want defensive edge rushers because a lot of these athletic quarterbacks can get outside the pocket, you know, for your Lamars and your, you know, and the people that can scramble really well. So like a lot of really excellent like prospect edge rushers were picked in the first round. So there wasn't a whole lot of space for QBs and just guesswork.
Right.
So when he fell out of the first round, I was like, okay, so I did think somebody's going to pick him up right at the top of the second. And when that happened, I was like, okay, they just don't want to deal with y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because at Colorado, when he came there, all these other teams in, you know, collegiate football were, you know, it was just like, you know, they were rooting for him to lose or whatever the case may be because
they didn't like his personality.
they don't like your personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whether there was a component of we trying to humble you, it was needed because at some point you got to relinquish the reins to your kids and just let them do their thing.
Right. Yeah, right.
And teams don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that I keep saying.
I don't think necessarily something wrong with Deion trying to be there for his son, but
No.
he's too overbearing with the
Yeah.
league. And,
Right.
and whoever's going to have control over his son.
I put all this on Deion. You've been in the league. You know how this whole process works.
Yeah.
You know what these executives, these team owners are looking for.
Yeah.
And you just intentionally misled your son because you're Deion Sanders and y'all have to. Y'all don't have to walk that tightrope.
Yeah,
like everybody else does.
Right.
Yeah. He's like rebelling through his son.
Yeah.
Like, what are you rebelling?
I don't know.
You're a head
You
coach
made
at
it.
Colorado State.
You're in the Hall
made
of
it.
Fame.
You're in the Hall of Fame. Why are
Yeah.
you so upset about these
Yeah.
owners?
Yeah, and when all that success Deion was having, a lot of coaches felt disrespected because they're great coaches and they didn't get the headlines like Deion's getting.
Yeah.
I know that's going on too.
Yeah.
And then now it's translating to your son.
Yeah.
And you got all this hype around for what? And everybody's like, you know what? Help this family.
Hey guys, I got a Dry Bar special out on the Dry Bar app. Please check it out. Also, I'm on season 2 of Behind the Comedian, season 2, episode 6. Show some love, man. Go watch that. Streaming on all the streaming platforms. Thank you.
Yeah.